What is going on, guys? It's Trader Cause. I hope you are all doing well and safe. We had a pretty intense dump across the board. And for those new to crypto trading, this probably was pretty surprising to you. Bitcoin dropped around 20% from wick to wick, 19. And I think this is mostly due, actually I know this is mostly due to liquidations and long liquidation runs. So liquidations basically are when you are over leveraged, you have a liquidation price where you have no more money to cover your trade, and then the exchange is forced to close that position for you. Excuse me. And when you are in a long, to close a long, you have to sell. And so when we have a ton of liquidations, it's just a cascading, snowballing effect of sell orders. So hope everyone is okay. Hope you guys didn't get hurt too badly. When we get something like this, I have found that it's been very profitable to set some limits at high time frame support or demand. And I'm kind of going to talk you guys through how I've done that when I've done this in the past and today, and then we'll talk about what I'm looking for going forward. So this isn't the first time we've seen something like this. I think it was about a week or 10 days ago where the same thing happened with Link and with sushi that I bought. And I think it was this daily demand right here that I was buying on sushi, or maybe it was 12 hour. I don't remember exactly. Yeah, I think I was looking at this 12-hour demand. So I remember I'd set some limits here on, actually this is exactly what it looked like. I bid the top of here. My stop loss was at this low, and we were targeting that dotted line. So this isn't the first time we've seen something like this, and if you leave limits, these can be some of your most profitable trades, or if you're sitting at your desk to mark it in right when it happens. Because when we get a bunch of cascading liquidations, people, someone's getting their orders filled. There are people buying to fill those cells, and usually it's some bigger players who have a lot of bids that they want filled. So when these cascading liquidations start going, there can be a lot of opportunity. So it happened before here on, I just bumped my mic. Happened before here on Link, and also that same time right here on sushi. We're bidding this 12-hour demand and then targeting that high. So these have been my best trades of February easily, because you're in profit considerably very quickly. And typically they can signal at least temporary bottoms. So let's talk about Bitcoin, what I saw here. Originally, I did think we were going to bounce at 52K. Let me look at a 4-hour. So I thought we were going to bounce from here if we started dumping. I had some limits set at 52K, and they got stopped out at 50,700. I was actually looking at my phone while this happened, got stopped out, and it just kept going and going and going. And I was like, oh my gosh, I need to get to my computer and see the next high time frame support where I think we'll bounce from, because I thought this was just a liquidation run, which seems like it was. And so I pulled up the 2-day chart. And perfectly right here, we had some 2-day demand. I hit market buy and was able to get filled at 48,797. I posted a screenshot of this on Twitter for anyone who thinks I'm just saying that. I did post proof of my position. We also had the weekly open there from last week, so that was some nice confluence. But yeah, the only reason I had the confidence in buying there is because of this 2-day demand, and it also defined my risk just outside of it. So it's not like I saw this huge dip and just hit market buy without knowing where my stop was going to be or my risk or anything like that, but just because I thought it would bounce. No, that's gambling. That's trying to just catch a knife. But I feel like this is more predetermined. I mean, I know I was looking at daily support first, and that long got stopped out. But because we were sitting right on support, I was very comfortable buying it because I think if that broke, we would have gone to around 40K. So if this was like our last stand, and I was willing to take the risk there because of that. So that's what I saw with Bitcoin. Entered the long. We had this range here that we've been trading in before. So now what I really want to see going forward would be if we can hold right there. 4 hour looks pretty good as we had this awesome buyback, then a green candle. I'd like to see this maybe close a little bit higher, but as long as it closes inside the range, I'd be pretty happy. And then I'm thinking maybe we get a move up to 4 hour supply, then retest the range low or something like that, and then push up. But I do think the low is in. I just want to see this range low hold. I think that would be ideal. Looking at a daily chart, I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. It reminds me of this move right here, grinding up a bunch, just pretty much going straight up for days, wick everyone out, and then keep going. So I do think the low is in there, but we'll see. Also, this is another good example of, where was it? This one, of 2-day demand being undefeated right there. This one and this one never really got dips into it, or that one, but the ones that have gotten dips into, they have held and they have marked the bottom. So I do think the bottom is in. Maybe it ranges a bit more or comes down here, takes this low, and then gets back in here. But ultimately, I do not think this range low or this spike low gets tagged again. So I am feeling pretty good here. If we have $4 billion of liquidations and can't go to a new all-time high from there, I think we have an issue. I don't think there's any reason that this needs to really nuke very much further, and I'd like to see it hold above 51,000. But I'm not completely ruling out a move down first. But the most bullish scenario would be if we can hold this. If not, I don't really want to get below this general. That was drawn very horribly, but this general area, once again, drawn very poorly, but you guys know what I'm trying to say. So that's Bitcoin. I hope that all makes sense. Let's talk about Ethereum now. Kind of the same thing. So I bought Bitcoin first because that was kind of my highest priority, and then saw that some other alts that I have been wanting to buy at a cheaper price were sitting on support. Ethereum dropped a lot from the high, wick to wick, 25%, but came into support as well. We did have another 2-day demand right here, and I placed my stop loss just beyond that. It was a bit of a loose stop, and I know you guys are going to say, well, that gray zone is huge. Of course, it bounced from there, but there's some other things I wanted to see, and if I didn't catch it around there, I wouldn't have entered because the risk to reward would have been pretty poor. But I liked that we had these lows, and so I was expecting that dotted line to get flipped really quick, and it did. We got above that really swiftly, and it also held as support when it tagged again. And then that 2-day demand also helps because that defines my risk on this trade setup. So I had my stop loss at 14.90. I was pretty confident that that wouldn't get hit because it was a really wide stop loss. It's about 10%, but or 9%. Yeah, 9%. But still, that was the setup on Ethereum. Now we're working with the weekly open right here. I'd like to see it flip that. Maybe we dip down to test this level first, but ideally get above the weekly open, and this should be good to go back to around 1950. I guess I could just delete those. Okay, there we go. Moving on. Well, I guess we'll talk about ETH BTC really quick. This is a level that my friend Trader Tristan pointed out during stream. And it also has a bunch of really nice confluence. I like this 3-day demand right here, and that level is right in the middle of it. So figured I would leave it on the chart. Oop, there we go. But this did exactly what me and Trader Main kind of talked about when we were streaming the other day. We really thought this level had some nice confluence. There's also this weekly SR. So a lot of nice confluence here. I really think the low should be in for ETH BTC, but it's a little too early to tell. I'd like to see it start uptrending a bit. Yikes. Maybe break above this to be more confident when I say that I think the low is in for ETH BTC. So for now, I'm just staying patient, but I do think this has the signs of looking pretty promising. FTT. So I want to talk about FTT and Sol specifically. So I'm going to talk about Litecoin and Link first. But you guys have probably seen on Twitter people talking about the SAM coins and to buy the SAM coins when we dip. And so I kind of want to explain that idea a little bit. First, we'll talk about Litecoin. 12-hour demand right there. Swept Monday's low right into it. And we're getting some good buyback. We are battling Monday's mid-range right here, but I'd like to see that hold and then get above the weekly open, and then this should keep pushing. A lot of these setups are pretty much the same, so I don't need to talk about them too in depth. I kind of just wanted to walk through these setups with you guys, kind of explain my mindset behind it, which I can summarize after I talk about Link, and then talk about the SAM coins. That was kind of one of the main things I wanted to focus on with this video. So going back to Link, this was the 12-hour demand I bid here. This time we had 2-day demand, and that held really well too. And because all of these were coming into support at the same time, I had more confidence in my longs because it's like they're all sitting on key levels. So swept Monday's low into 2-day demand. Really nice buyback here from Link. And also when I entered this, wow, 25%. Excuse me. When I entered this, there was negative funding on Link, which means I was being paid to long. And so that gave me even a bit more confidence. So that's Bitcoin, Ethereum, Link, and Litecoin. And those are 4 of the positions that I entered on that dump. And the main thing I want to tell you guys is just have your high time frame levels set, know where you'd be interested in buying the dip, and then either execute when it gets there if you're not comfortable leaving limit orders, or leave some limit orders. Like with this, we had 2-day demand and Monday's low that had been unswept. So I thought, yeah, if we spike into that and take out Monday's low right into 2-day demand, that's a great looking setup. And it was pretty similar for Litecoin. Took Monday's low right into higher time frame demand. Ethereum took out these lows right into 2-day demand. And Bitcoin, it wasn't Monday's low, but still high time frame demand. We also had the weekly open. And so that's pretty much it. That's my mindset behind all those trades. And yeah, so I hope that kind of explains it. When we're getting these crazy dumps, I know it's hard to not get emotional or panic sell or whatever, but this is when the best opportunities come, because now it's been, like 7 hours or something? It's been 8 hours since the dump, and my longs, most things have bounced over 10%. So tons of opportunity when other people get very fearful. So now kind of the meat of the video is this whole Sam coin thing, right? So Sam is the CEO of FTX, and basically everything he touches turns to gold. He's working with Solana, Sol, whatever you call it. FTT is his exchange token. Serum is another one. Sushi, and the new one is Ray. And all of those Sam is working with, or FTX is working with, and those coins are just coins I'm comfortable betting on in the future. Like I really like Sol, I really like Serum. You guys know I've been talking about FTT for a really long time. And so coins that you think are really strong projects or that you want to have more of or hold for a while, you need to take advantage of these market-wide dumps because that's the cheapest prices you're going to get on any of these. So that's kind of what I tried to do. I got FTT and Sol. I wasn't able to play Serum, but the chart, not that one, the chart speaks for itself. Oops. It dipped down, swept that low, and just ripped. Probably 40%, 50% to the tick. So there's tons of opportunities with these coins. I am long both of these. I hold FTT as well as Sol and Serum. Like I think these are solid projects, and other people do too because everyone's trying to scoop up as much as they can when they dip. So if you guys, if you want to trade these, I think FTX is the best place to trade. I can throw my code in the description. You'll get a 7% discount on fees, and that's where Ray is. Ray isn't on other exchanges yet, but that's where you can trade all the FTX tokens and, well, the FTX token, FTT, and also coins that Sam is involved in. And like I said, I'm sure you saw it all over Twitter that now everyone kind of knows this alpha where when the market dumps, you buy the Sam coins. And we did that last time with Sushi when we bought it here, and it ripped like 40% in a matter of hours. And now the same thing happened again. Sushi didn't do quite as well, but still, you can't really complain with a high 20s or low 30. Yeah, 31% pump. And then the other ones did great too. So quickly, I'll talk about the setups on that, but main idea is you guys really should be looking to learn more about these coins Sam is involved in, and those are the coins people are talking about when they say the FTX or Sam coins. So, but I guess the bottom line is I just think there's a ton of opportunity buying those coins on dips because there's a ton of demand for them. They don't dip as much because everyone wants them, and then they start ripping really hard after market-wide dumps, and we've seen that a few times. So this was one of my more, well, not more, but this is also another classic type of setup that I do take. 2 hour demand here. I bought this one on the way up, so my I didn't get like a pip, well, not a pip, a tick from my stop loss being tagged. Once I saw that it looked like it swept that low into 2 hour demand, I bought some, and also just confident in these coins performing well on a dump. FTT is up 20% since the low, and this was just one of the classic range sweep setups that I talk about a lot. That one's pretty self-explanatory. And then Sol, this was the money maker for the day. So it was, not only was it a range sweep setup, but we also had this support here, and you could say it was even daily support. Let me change this, not to just that. There we go. I know it front ran it slightly, but this level was high time frame support or resistance initially. Rejected here, here, here. Expect it to hold as support. I bought this right when it closed that hourly candle back in, that red one. And then it did come down for one more dip, but my stop loss was safe. I didn't try and make it too tight. And Sol has just been ripping, probably 40 something. Yeah, up 47%. So I hope this gives you guys a little bit more insight as to how I try to play these cascading liquidation runs. And just to summarize one more time, it's just look for high time frame support, and it's probably going to be 10 to 20% from where price currently is, but that's where the opportunities are, even when it is a bit scary. So that sums it up. Like I said earlier, if you want to trade these FTX Sam coins, whatever Sam is involved in, it's probably worth at least getting a little bit. And the newest one, Ray, I don't think they're on TradingView yet, but it went up from like $1 to $14 or $15 today, and that was in like a day or 2 days because it got listed yesterday. So ton of opportunities with those, and anything that he is involved in is worth paying attention to. So I'll drop that link down below where you guys can trade those, and you'll get 7% off fees. But hopefully you enjoy the video, and maybe tomorrow we will do a live stream. Yeah, so keep in touch. I'll talk to you guys soon.